Seeming like the great outdoors, shouldn't we be corralling all these runaway cows? Where are they headed? Shitting Bull doesn't seem too swift to me. You're barking up the wrong tree. We farm dogs could get them circled around and going in the other direction so easy.
Meanwhile, a large posse of horses are stampeding along behind the pigs, amidst swirling dust, headed rapidly with all the other animals. They don't know where.
Yeah, hi-ho, Silver. I'm frustrated. I just don't want to waste time dwelling on terrorizing topics that go against an individual's creative spirit and free enterprise under good old rule of law like we used to use.
Pal, you were just too damn politically incorrect with your ideas.
The moneyed power bowlers running things resist allowing farm savings, conservative political ideas from being taught to this animal farm, and it's just kept hidden in secret on EU and other animal farms too.
Wow! Well, pal, I haven't been looking at it that way. Stepping into your horseshoes at last, I can see your side. Meanwhile, a bunch of chickens just behind the horses on the same high dusty plain are also skipping along, headed for the same cliff edge.
Our 500,000 world police in 78 countries are required to get stuck too. State National Guard shouldn't be outside their states overseas. The U.S. military or CIA shouldn't be policing inside U.S. borders. So Civil War II secessions based on the 10th Amendment could rip up the Union soon. Golly, no wonder I'm running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
I'll make the rounds, baby, and we'll have chicklets overrunning Animal Farm. And we can then get rich voting in a Democratic majority.
Meanwhile, overhead, a flock of birds of a feather, following the animals headed for the cliff. We are circling overhead like the mass media homing in on like pigeons on the latest serial killer or idiot politician. The media will shy and fly away from the critical issues they keep secret under the rug, thereby misdirecting our thinking.
Bet your tail feathers on that.
Meanwhile, a bunch of sheep behind the cows are also scurrying along, headed for the same cliff edge. Pete the sheeple proclaims to his clever girlfriend Bo Peep the sheep, running along next to him.
Students no longer get the true history of our farm. The Founding Fathers set up a brilliant Constitution and Bill of Rights that had been misinterpreted on purpose. They set up a godly plan, but now we're going under the thumb of our rubber-stamped bull moose party, president and paid-off Congress doing the bidding of power-mad piggy bankers using our tax money to impose their sneaky New World Order UN gobbledygook.
No, this many of us can't be wrong, Bo Peep. We will be heard loud and clear. Follow the leader, lovely creature. You would get voted down by our cowed majority faction, our democracy in action.
I prefer a Bill of Rights to protect my minority opinion. Democracy sucks. I wish our herd had a constitutional republic like the U.S. had 200 years ago, or like the Irish came up with 70 years ago. They protected protesting American and Irish sheeple from being led to slaughter.
And get back with the pack. I was told we will all eat well and get plenty of water from here on out. So don't prod me out of the flock. We are moving along nicely to a good future. I am comfortable, jammed in with everyone else. This many of us can't be wrong.
There are terrorist dictators, pukes, who would let loose nukes or a deadly germ by mistake, anytime.
Hey, you paranoid far-out scaremonger. Don't be such a preacher of doom, crying wolf wolf. You're out of your mind. Just eat grass, move your ass with the rest of us, and shut up.
Whoa, holy cow. Aren't we going over a cliff? Oops, we are falling through the air.
Quit pushing me. I'm flying, all jammed in, all this rushing air. You were right, I am falling. You too, Bo Peep. No way back. Meanwhile, the large herds of cows, farm dogs, pigs, horses, chickens, and sheep keep pushing forward and topple over the cliff, following their peer leaders over the edge, and they all hurtle down 1,000 feet, splashing into the lake, thrashing in the water, trying to make it to shore. Meanwhile, up 1,000 feet, above the lake, on the cliff edge, there sits a small group of clever animals, each a fearless thinker.
Those big animal gangs were convinced by their leaders that they were on the right track. Crowd psychology, peer pressure.
Meanwhile, the cows are seen struggling ashore, dragging themselves up on the sandy beach, stunned at how stupid they were to blindly follow Shitting Bull over the cliff edge.
We should be thinking for ourselves more than we do. We need to go beyond what we get on TV and in the classroom. Do research, getting at the hidden truths and crucial issues. We have been spoofed and de-hoofed.
Right on, honey. Luckily we get a fresh start. Let's milk others for key information until the cows come home. Let's stock our libraries and get busy on an unregulated internet. Discuss key issues, no holds barred, with no secrecy. Enforce a rule of law fashioned after the American and Irish constitutions and Bill of Rights to protect our minority opinions and actions.
Here we are, huddled by the lake. Our biggest and loudest animal, Shitting Bull, must be sent out to pasture. Where did we go wrong? How do we get back up on the playing field? How about selecting Josh as our new shepherd?
Our new animal farm must get back to the basics, set up a new regime from scratch, and we itch. Well, our flock was a ruinous crock. We can each learn hidden truths and use our heads instead of blindly following queer peers. Let's be up on the key issues. There must be checks and balances on those we vote into power, so powers must be divided into 3 parts. Our rule of law needs to use tough love. Immediate death penalty for caught drug dealers, murderers, arsonists, rapists, genociders. Base our morals and way of life not on profit but on freedom for every little calf and piglet, so they live a healthy, wealthy life. I'll drink to that. Here's a cow pie and a mud in your eye.
Meanwhile, a little ways down from the cows on the sunshine-drenched beach,
Boyd, the Prez, and his unelected czars. Then us pigs can run the bums off Animal Farm again. Our Pigpen Constitution Party has a chance after all.
Meanwhile, camped in groups on the beach, surrounded by books and papers, the various Animal Farm groups wearing glasses start coming out with well-thought-through statements.
Ratty, despite your shit-eating grin, you are one smart pooch these days. Glad I loaned you that book on what the American Founding Fathers said about checks and balances.
Meanwhile, all different kinds of animals are playing and studying together on the sandy beach. This animal farm no longer follows loud beasts trying to lead the troops off in any wrong directions. Each thinks for his or herself. After digging for all the facts, the stunning fall over the cliff awakened them to discovering and revealing the deep and hidden facts of life.
Look out for peer pressure. Don't follow the wrong leader. Don't get caught up in crowd psychology. Don't get splattered with cow pie in your eye. Now every sheep knows what company to keep, and every noodling poodle knows how to Google.
Meanwhile, different kinds of animals up and down the beach, many with glasses on, reading books and staring at computer screens connected to the internet, nod their heads in agreement.